is tested more than a woman who has to choose between herself and somebody else. Maybe somebody else they love, maybe somebody else they are friends with. Us women, we tend to have really, really big hearts. And I don't think that you realize that self-love has to be at the forefront of your friendships, of your relationships, of your dream life. Just imagine being in a relationship where a guy is cheating on you constantly and you not being able to walk away because you feel like that is what you deserve, or you think that's normal because everybody's going through it, or you've seen it before and you feel like you deserve it because you aren't good enough. Just imagine you looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, I am not worth it, I am not beautiful, and feeling like that is definitely a hard pill to swallow. But taking the first step, like clicking on this video, or taking the first step in general to look within yourself and realize, hey, I want to change. Like, I need to change. I need to figure out how to love myself. That is self-love in itself. And honestly, you should be more proud of yourself. Hi, my name is Elisha, and welcome back to my channel. I do videos mainly on self-love, self-care, glowing up, being the best version of yourself. So if that is your speed, go ahead and watch my channel or subscribe, whatever you want to do, okay? But today's specific video is about how to start your self-love journey. I started my self-love journey 5 years ago, and it has been the best thing that I ever did for my life. It's actually one of the reasons why I started my channel, because I wanted women to love themselves. I wanted them to learn how to love themselves, like how I learned to love myself. First things first, I'm gonna need you to get a journal. I'm gonna need you to get a journal. I know journaling has been talked about all the time, but this is going to be your self-love, no judgment journal, okay? I'm gonna need you to go to Target and get a journal. And I'm gonna need you to do a journal practice every single day. The first step is that inner work, okay? I have 5 questions here that is going to help you jumpstart your self-love journey, and then from these 5 questions you'll probably be able to come up with more questions to ask yourself. But I think these are really good to start off with the foundation of learning how to love yourself and getting down to the root cause. The thing about journaling, the reason why it's so crucial is because journaling is going to help you become honest with yourself. Honesty is one of the qualities of self-love, one of the self-love habits, I feel like. If you can be honest with yourself, if you can face yourself, hold yourself accountable, dig deep, understand yourself, you can reach a level of self-love. But you cannot reach a level of self-love until you crack down on who you are, crack down on why the things that have happened to you, or how did you get to this point. Even if the things that happened to you weren't your fault and your perception of yourself wasn't your fault, you still want to dig up the root. You still want to understand these things, because then you realize, hey, these things weren't my fault and I can forgive myself. Even if they aren't my fault, I can forgive myself, right? So let's talk about these 5 questions that I want you to ask yourself, okay? So when you get your journal, you're going to ask yourself, how do I feel about myself in this moment, okay? I want you to be raw and honest about yourself. How do you feel? Do you feel insecure? Maybe you're insecure about your looks. Maybe you're insecure about your personality. Maybe you're insecure about yourself as a whole, right? This is a no judgment self-love journal, okay? Nobody has to see this journal. Do not be afraid to really confront how you feel about yourself. When I started my self-love journey 5 years ago, I was honest with myself. When you ask yourself these questions, yeah, you're probably gonna cry. You're probably gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel like you don't know how to combat these feelings or get past these feelings. But let me tell you, that is one of the first steps in healing yourself and starting to love yourself, right? So don't be afraid to admit your feelings to yourself. I think a lot of people are scared to admit that they might have self-esteem issues, but it's actually okay. It's actually okay. It's actually a normal thing, right? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, how did I get here? Maybe in this moment you are feeling bad because maybe you just went through a breakup and that breakup caused you to feel insecure. Or maybe you just went through a friendship breakup and that caused you to feel insecure. Or maybe somebody said something to you recently and that made you feel insecure, okay? But I want you to go further than that. I want you to go deeper than that, right? So this question of how did I get here? Odds are that one scenario that I just mentioned wasn't how you got to this point, right? Because I think sometimes we think when we enter something, like say a relationship, we enter the relationship and we go through the breakup and we feel insecure about it, right? We think that that's where our insecurities started. And odds are that's not where the insecurities started, okay? The insecurities probably started either from your childhood or way before you even realized, right? You didn't wake up in the world and think, oh, I'm so ugly, or oh, I don't like my personality, or oh, I don't like myself, you know? Like the world kind of shaped how you viewed yourself, whether you got bullied, whether you just saw a lack of representation on the media. Something shaped you to be the way you are. So if you be like, okay, maybe I'm feeling insecure about this relationship, right? You want to go even deeper, right? So you discover, hey, I'm insecure because this relationship ended. This guy did not treat me right? But then you go further than that. When was the first time that you felt insecure? Do you remember when the first time you felt insecure, right? What are the things that you constantly say to yourself in your mind? Where did you pick up those words from? So maybe you're saying, oh my God, I am so stupid. I am so stupid. I am so stupid, right? And you realize that, oh my God, the first time somebody made me feel stupid was when I was a child, you know? You have to dig deeper than just that one moment that's causing you pain, right? So yes, maybe you did go through a breakup and that made you feel insecure, but odds are the insecurities didn't start there, okay? So the next question is, kind of just talked about this a little bit, but we're still going to touch on it because it's important. What childhood experiences did I have that could have aided in me not liking who I am? The fourth question is, what are ways that you can give your younger self self-love or compassion? So what are the things that you're thinking about when you think about how you're going to give yourself love and compassion? You know, I'm a firm believer that you can look back in your younger years and try to give yourself some compassion for that time. So maybe in your journal you write a letter to your younger self and actually pour into her and tell her that you're so sorry that you went through this or you went through that. You know, find different ways that's going to give your younger self compassion. This is going to lead you and aid you into healing, right? And then what are ways that you can show your current self-love and compassion? Now this question you might not be able to answer because odds are if you're starting your self-love journey, you're still learning how to love yourself. You're still learning what self-love is, and you might not be able to answer this question off the bat, but I do want you to keep this question in the back of your mind and in the back of your journal so that when you do discover self-love and you do discover the way you like to be loved, you can start adding to this question. You can add to this list. And this brings me to my next step that you're gonna do. We're done with the journaling, right? Well, kind of, but I want you to redefine your meaning of self-love, okay? Redefine what you think self-love is. When I started my self-love journey, it definitely was on some superficial stuff, right? I thought that self-love was loving my looks, loving everything about me, walking in a room and somebody being like, oh, she's so pretty, oh, she's so beautiful, you know? I thought it had to just do with my looks, not realizing that self-love was deeper than just liking my looks, you know, because there are going to be days when I don't have a full face of makeup on. There are going to be days where maybe I am depressed, I'm in bed, I can't get out of bed. Does that mean that I should love myself any less because I can't do the things that I could do yesterday, right? So that's what I mean by it's deeper than just, I don't like who I am, I don't like my looks, right? You should love yourself regardless. You should love yourself when the times are bad, when the times are good, right? You should love the good parts about you. You should love the bad parts about you. Everybody has a good side and everybody has a bad side, right? And typically when we don't like ourselves, we tend to not like the bad stuff, but as a woman who loves herself, she is a woman that honestly takes those bad stuff or the weaknesses and she works on them, okay? She doesn't hurt herself over them. She doesn't like think, oh, I'm not perfect, so I hate myself. Like, she doesn't think that, you know? She takes all those bad qualities and she's like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. I'm a work in progress. I'm okay with myself, right? You know, you have to love yourself regardless of what you look like that day, right? You have to love yourself without makeup on, with makeup on, with the filter on Snapchat or Instagram on, without the filter on, okay? This is how you're going to do it. You're going to redefine what you believe self-love to be. You know, confidence and self-love are two different things. I think self-love is learned. I think confidence is built, right? Self-love, you learn self-love. You learn to love yourself on the good, the bad days, the ugly days, the crazy days, everything, right? You see past your looks, you see past everything. It cannot be on a surface level. It has to be internal. It has to be underneath the surface, right? Redefine what you think self-love is. It's not what you are thinking. Honestly, like, I think people tell us that, you know, you might like see the girl, she loves her looks, she's confident, she loves her looks, right? Whole time she's in her room crying because she doesn't love herself. Whole time she's dealing with a guy that mistreats her because she doesn't love herself. And honestly, no judgment, but people think self-love may equate to you loving what you look like, right? But it's so much deeper than that, okay? Self-love is the way you treat yourself. It's the way you give to yourself. It's the unconditional love you have for yourself despite anything, right? So it's being gentle to yourself. It's being kind to yourself. And it's also not being perfect, right? Next step would be to write a mission statement to yourself. Why are you making this step towards self-love? And I want you to write out, my mission statement is to learn to love myself, love all parts of me, love the good, the bad, the ugly, love it all, right? It's to walk away from people who mistreat me. It's to raise my standards. It's to believe I'm not perfect and to be okay with not being perfect, okay? It's to always forever keep learning and giving myself my dream life, you know? Write out your mission statement, okay? Why are you doing this? And then also write out the things that you think you need to rules for yourself. Like, this mission statement has to be your rule book. Like, I promise to love myself, I promise to heal, I promise to do whatever you have to put in your mission statement. This is going to be your own personal self-love statement that you can go back to remember why you are doing this, because this is going to help you on the hard days when you go out and maybe you feel insecure that day, right? You can go back to this mission statement and be like, this is why I'm doing this. I'm not going to give up. Now we're going to talk about actionable steps that are going to make you love yourself, right? I want you to figure out which direction you want to go in. What do you want to believe about yourself instead? So now that you have asked yourself, how do I feel about myself in the moment? I want you to figure out, what do you want to believe about yourself, okay? Your identity is in who you say you are. A lot of people think their identity is their self-expression, right? The way they look, the way they present yourself. Your identity is in who you think you are. So whatever you're thinking up here is in who is your identity, right? People also think their identity is in what other people say they are. No ma'am, no ma'am. Your identity is in who you say you are, because whatever you're thinking up here is what you're going to do, is the action that you're going to perform, right? So if you think you're ugly, guess what? You're probably gonna crawl out of bed. You're probably not gonna do anything with your looks. You're probably gonna be like, what's the point? I'm ugly anyway. So your identity is in what you think about yourself. And because of that, I want you to write out a list of I ams. I know I talk about I ams so much, but it's very, very powerful, right? When you discover, what do you want to believe about yourself, okay? I am beautiful. I am successful. I love myself. These things that you want to believe about yourself, you want to write them out. And from those I ams, I want you to make a self-love vision board. One of the things that I started with when I started my self-love journey, I did a self-love vision board. I have a regular vision board and I have my self-love vision board. I can read off some quotes that I have on my self-love vision board. I accept myself as I am. I have one that says self-love. I have one that says I love myself, I accept myself, I forgive myself. This self-love vision board has a bunch of quotes that I pretty much want to believe about myself. I did this like 4 years ago, so I look at it from every now and then, but I love it. And honestly, I believe all of these things manifested because I had a self-love vision vision board. I wrote it out. I wrote out all the things that I wanted to believe about myself internally. You know, the self-love vision board, I'm going to talk about the physical stuff later, but I want you to really focus on what you want to believe about yourself on an internal level, because if you focus on what you want to believe about yourself on an internal level, it's going to exhibit outside, right? But it cannot manifest outwardly if you don't work on that internal work. Then I want you to write out 5 set of I ams every single day, along with the journaling that I talked about. I want you to write out 5 I ams every day. Oh, and I want you to switch it up, right? So don't write out the same I ams, just write out different ones that you want to believe, and then after a while you can probably repeat it. But write out these I am statements, okay? This is going to get your mind into that mood of, this is who I am, this is the identity I want, and this is the woman that I'm going to be. To create a dedicated self-care day, it is time to learn how to pour into yourself, and I'm going to tell you how to do it, right? I have a dedicated self-care day. Mine is on Sunday. This is the day where you just pour into you. You don't go out with anybody. You do not, okay? I'm gonna need you to spend some time with yourself, right? Every single week, once a week, okay? And I'm gonna need you to spend time with yourself. Spending time with yourself is the most crucialest thing, and it's the best thing that I had ever did to love myself, right? Because you're gonna have to get comfortable with yourself. To get to love yourself is to get comfortable with who you are, right? So on this self-care day specifically, I want you to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. It probably can't be on Do Not Disturb the whole day, especially if you have kids, or especially if like somebody might call you. And the reason why I want to challenge you to put it on Do Not Disturb is because this is going to jumpstart yourself into being about yourself, into prioritizing yourself, right? This is going to jumpstart the way that you tell people no if you can't go somewhere, right? So when your phone's on Do Not Disturb, you're not constantly checking your phone for text messages. Nobody's really reaching out. It's going to train you to get ready to say no to other people. Or this is going to train you to put yourself first, right? Putting yourself first starts out with prioritizing yourself. And I think the best way to learn how to prioritize yourself is to make little small micro habits, such as putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. It's a small thing that you can start doing that'll help you to be able to say no in the future, okay? Especially if you are a chronic people pleaser, this is going to be so crucial in learning how to prioritize yourself. On this self-care day, I also want you to journal, okay? I want you to do the first step again on the self-care day specifically. Yes, you might cry. It is okay. I'm gonna need you to do that because it's gonna be a part of your healing, right? Also, on this self-care day, want you to give yourself your love languages, okay? In order to give yourself your love languages, I'm gonna need you to take a love language quiz. I will link one down below that I took. There are 5 love languages. There's acts of service, quality time, gift giving, words of affirmations, and physical touch. I want you to specifically give yourself these love languages. So ways you can give yourself your love languages: if yours is words of affirmations, you can say these I ams out loud. Specifically, what I like to do is take a bubble bath and put on affirmations on the YouTube app and just put my phone on the side while I'm sitting there taking a bubble bath. I have a little bath tray. That's also a version of quality time. You know, I'm in the bathroom by myself, I'm spending time with myself, maybe I'm journaling. Acts of service could be cooking for yourself, okay? Maybe you never cook for yourself. Make a nice meal for yourself. Physical touch could be your lotion on your skin, putting on things that smell good. Oil is perfect. Putting on things that just smell good, make your skin soft, you know, shave, all of that. Physical gifts is that, if that is your love language, maybe you go out and get your favorite iced coffee that day, or maybe you go out and get you something like I don't know, something small or something big. If you want to do something big, now maybe get yourself some flowers. I actually just recently bought myself some flowers and I have it sitting over there. So like, you know, do these things, right? So you're gonna do this on your self-care day. Even if self-affirmations isn't your love language, I still want you to do your self-affirmations. And this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna get into your skincare, you're gonna get into your body care. As you are putting lotion on your body, oil on your body, washing your skin, right? When you're washing your skin, I want you to look in the mirror and be like, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. Say other things too. I am great. I am worthy, right? And I want you to stare at yourself. This is going to be so crucial, especially because you're not going to have any makeup on. You're going to be taking off your makeup. You're going to look at yourself and you're going to say these things. I want you to do the same thing with your skin, okay? With your body, okay? Look at your body, even if you don't like it. Look at your body while you're putting on lotion on and be like, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, okay? This is gonna get you to be comfortable. The reason why you don't like yourself is because you're uncomfortable with yourself. Somebody told you that you shouldn't like what you look like, right? Whether it was the media or somebody who bullied you, right? But no, I'm gonna need you to get comfortable, and the way you get comfortable is you become uncomfortable. So when you're doing these things, you might feel uncomfortable looking at your body. Maybe you don't like your body, right? You might feel uncomfortable looking at your body, but you gotta do it. You have to force yourself to do it, okay? That's the only way you're gonna feel comfortable with yourself, and that's the only way you're gonna accept yourself. And then the next one is to implement something fun, okay? We don't want to just be healing all day. We don't want to be crying all day. We don't want to feel uncomfortable all day. I'm gonna need you to do something fun. So do something fun with yourself. Maybe watch a nice movie. Maybe dance in your room. That's the best way to feel comfortable with yourself. One thing I used to do in college when I was learning to love myself, I used to put on some headphones. I used to get some wine, and I used to look at myself in the mirror and I used to dance. Just dance, okay? This got me so comfortable with myself, and I just had fun. Think about it, nobody's watching you. You know, you might feel uncomfortable at first, but nobody's watching you. The bubble bath is another thing that I love to do. Just make your self-love routine fun. Get some popcorn for your movie night. Take photos of yourself. This might not be a fun thing for you, but this is something that will make you feel comfortable with yourself, is to start taking photos of yourself without the filter and gradually keep doing that, right? So you take photos with yourself without the filter. Take photos with yourself with the filter on, and then also take pictures of yourself with makeup on and without makeup on. Again, this is another thing that's going to make you uncomfortable, but you're going to get comfortable with yourself, okay? So next we have to talk about the 6th tip, which is solo dating yourself. I'm going to need you to plan out a solo date one time a month. Once a month, plan out a solo date for yourself. Something I seen on TikTok was this girl, she had a jar. She would put little solo date ideas and options in the jar, and she would pick one to do with herself. I think she did it every week or something. I'm only challenging you to do it once a month, right? Take yourself out. Maybe you put in the jar, go to a bar, go to a paint and sip, or go to a yoga class. Whatever you feel like you need to do to date yourself. Maybe you go out to dinner and wear a nice dress. You have to start solo dating yourself. Again, this is going to make you feel comfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first, but this is going to make you feel comfortable with yourself. Next step is to step into the shoes of the woman you want to be, okay? And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to pick one self-development goal to work on, whether that's working on your standards, working on your self-trust, learning to focus on yourself, stop people-pleasing, healing from your childhood. Pick one to work on, okay? One to hyper-focus on, right? You're going to eventually work on all these things, but I want you to hyper-focus on one. It's the one that you want to work on the most, right? And then I want you to pick out one habit to implement for your physical glow up, okay? I am a firm believer that physical looking good is going to make you feel good. We already talked about all the inner stuff you're going to be doing, but you want to put attention towards your physical side now, okay? You want to do both. So if you want to work on your makeup skills, work on your makeup skills. If you want to go to the gym, work on going to the gym. The gym can actually be seen as something that's could be mental and physical. So that's good. If you want to work on your skin, maybe go get an esthetician. Working on your hair, maybe you want to grow out your hair, or maybe you want to start wearing wigs or sew-ins. Whatever you need to do. Maybe you want to put focus on your everything shower routine. Maybe you want to put focus on your nails and your toes, or figure out your personal style. You want to find the one habit that you want to work on, and from there, as you are working on it, right, you're going to eventually work on these other things too, but figure out the one physical habit that you want to start implementing. The way you are going to work on this stuff is you're going to become obsessed, okay? To become obsessed with the one personal development goal, I want you to first get a book. on it, okay? I want you to specifically get a book on what you need to work on. So maybe you need to work on your standards. One book I love is Why Men Love the B Word. I can't say that word on here because they gon' demonetize me. But I love that book. It really does teach you how to raise your standards with guys. So maybe that's the one book you choose, right? Look up different videos, podcasts, videos about that subject. So maybe, again, you're working on your standards, you type in on YouTube how to raise your standards, okay? I'm gonna need you to do that, and I'm gonna need you to become obsessed with it. And when I say obsessed, you are watching a video every single day about how to raise your standards. This is going to implement it in your mind. This is going to make you learn, okay? You have to gain all of this knowledge, okay? So that you can become a woman that raises her standards. When you're driving to work, or maybe you're in school or whatever, or maybe you do your hot girl walks, right? Put on the audiobook, put on the YouTube video. That's how you make it easy, okay? And then every once in a while, I want you to rate where you're at, right, with it, right? So I want you to also, when you're learning these knowledge, these things like these personal development goals, you're also going to have to challenge them. You can't learn all this knowledge and then not put them to use. Once you are learning these things and you become comfortable, I'm gonna need you to walk out your doors and start working on them. Next thing to do, when you pick your one habit for your physical habit, I'm gonna need you to create a schedule for it, okay? So maybe you pick for your physical habit that you're gonna work on is your everything shower routine, right? How many times a week are you going to do your everything shower routine before it can become a habit, right? Maybe you're going to do it twice a week, right? So you do your regular shower routine, and then twice a week you do your everything shower routine where you actually like cater to yourself every day, right? Or maybe it's you want to learn a different makeup skill, okay? How many times a week are you going to put attention to learning your makeup, right? Next one is to take inventory of the people you have in your life. How do the people in your life make you feel? Okay, I'm gonna need you to assess everyone in your life, family, friends, relationship. I'm gonna need you to assess it, right? How do they make you feel? Honest, be raw and honest with yourself. Okay, are they friends that don't invite you places? Are they friends that don't put attention towards you? Are they friends that are mean to you? Okay, if these friends make you feel bad about yourself, then you need to get rid of them. Okay, you need to get rid of them because you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around. And if you feel bad about yourself because they talk about you, you're gonna talk about you. You're not gonna speak highly of yourself, right? You need to get friends that speak highly of you and that pour into you the way that you pour into them. And then also you need to pour into yourself, okay? This is going to be a game changer because it's going to open up the doors, literally the universe doors for you to attract something new, something better, right? The next one and the last one I have is to start envisioning your dream life. I think with all of these things, all these tips that I listed before, naturally you're gonna start envisioning your dream life. The reason you're gonna naturally start envisioning your dream life is because as you raise your standards, as you learn to love yourself, you're gonna be like, you know what? I want to give myself the world. I want to give myself everything, right? And you're gonna start to envision this new life, okay? When I started to like fall in love with myself, as I grew older, I was like, dang, I want this out of my career, you know? I want this type of apartment. I want this type of guy. I want this type of friend, you know? You start envisioning your dream life and you ask yourself, what do you want, right? And then you go after it. And keep in mind, as you learn to keep loving yourself, because this is just the beginning of you starting your self-love journey, the dream life might change. You're gonna fall so in love with yourself that you're gonna start asking for more. You're gonna start raising your standards even more. So keep in mind that these things might change, you know? These things, like, you might ask for something first and then be like, you know what? I love myself more today. I'm gonna ask for more, okay? So you wanna start picturing your dream life. And naturally, it's just really gonna happen once you start loving yourself. Once you start pouring into yourself, naturally you're gonna start envisioning your dream life. Yes, that is my video on how to start your self-love journey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. And I hope you liked Vlogmas Day. I think is this day 12? I don't know. I don't know which day we're on, but we're still going strong. So I will be here tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.